We are somehow almost already into the 6th month of the year, which is June, aka Pride Month. If you're not somebody that is consistently reading queer books, I think June is a great opportunity to be reading queer books, whether they are featuring queer characters and or from queer authors. I think it's a great time to give yourself that challenge. If you're someone like me who seeks out queer books all months of the year, then it's really just an excuse to read even more queer books than you were already going to. So, in honor of Pride Month coming up, I wanted to give my top recommendations of specifically sapphic books to read for Pride Month. These are books that I thought were amazing, really fun, or maybe even really devastating, but that I loved. So, I've split these books into two groups: non-romance and romance. I have 5 books in each group. In the non-romance section, in all of them, there is romance, but to me, it didn't feel like the main genre. Like there was more to the story than just a love story. We're going to start with the non-romance reads first. A lot of these, maybe all of them, made me cry. We'll start there and then we'll move into romance, and that will be a happier, more fun time. I'm just going to give a very brief blurb of each of these books. I'm not going to get too into it, just a little taste to let you know what you're getting into if you pick up one of these. Starting off strong, first recommendation, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. If you have not read this book yet, what are you doing? Evelyn Hugo is a very big star. She is now in her 70s or 80s, something like that. And she is ready to do a tell-all. She basically hires this journalist and she's like, I'm going to tell you my entire life story. I want you to write it all up and then you get to put it out into the world, essentially. So nobody else has ever gotten this opportunity before. Evelyn Hugo barely did interviews. This is an insane opportunity for this journalist. Evelyn starts back when she's just getting onto the acting scene, and she recounts her entire life up to this point now, present day. We see what it was like for her growing up in Hollywood, how that affected her, how it affected others around her. We learn about her numerous husbands and the one that got away. When I read this for the first time, I listened to it. I was finishing this book, standing up in my kitchen. I think I was like making supper. I was like sobbing. In my opinion, this book deserves all the hype it gets. And yeah, don't let the title fool you. Next, Breaking from Frame by Jazz Forrester. I just recently read this a couple months ago. This book is set it starts out in 1969. Our FMC Claire is living with her husband in a little suburb. She's completely catering to her husband. You know, a woman is meant to serve her husband and have his babies. Claire has never felt drawn to that life. And when she has this mysterious neighbor move in next door who does not have a husband, who does not have kids, she realizes that there's more out there for her. I thought this one was really beautifully done. There is obviously romance in it, but to me, it didn't really feel like that was the main focus of this. This is truly a self-discovery story. We are watching Claire come to terms with what she wants, and then we watch her battle between, do I act on this maybe dangerous desire, or do I stay in this relationship that I know is safe and what I'm supposed to do? Okay, next is a little bit of a switch up. If We Survive This by Racquel Marie. One thing about me, I love zombie things. The Walking Dead, like, maybe might be my favorite show ever. I love zombie movies, like anything that has to do with like apocalypse, I eat it up. So when I heard of this sapphic zombie apocalypse book, I was like, I'm in. I believe this is YA, which I don't normally gravitate towards. Normally I'm like, no, but I really enjoyed this one. We are following Flora and her younger brother. They have been living alone for a year now. A year ago, their dad left. I think he was going to get something, I guess supplies or something. This was still during the zombie apocalypse, and he never came back. They've been just kind of laying low, being like, oh my God, I hope he comes back soon. Like, after a year, they're like, okay, we can't keep just sitting around. Like, we need to go try and find him or try and find some community. Obviously, it's a zombie apocalypse book. So they set out on this journey and are met with a lot of obstacles along the way. Zombies and people, we're just following them as they are trying to find their dad. They end up meeting another group of people along the way, and then they have to decide, can we trust them? Like, do we run? It's just that kind of vibe. It's just surviving the zombie apocalypse. And there might be a subplot of romance. I thought it was a fun, quick read. If you're into zombie stuff, I feel like you could probably enjoy this one. Next two books I have mentioned very, very many times on my channel. A Language of Limbs by Dylin Hardcastle. This book is set in the 1970s. We are following two POVs in this. We're following somebody who is embracing their queerness, and we see the effects this has on their life. And then we are following somebody else who is repressing their queerness, and we see how this is affecting their life. A portion of this book is set during the AIDS epidemic, and there are conversations around AIDS and how it affected the queer community, which I feel like is really important to read about, especially during Pride Month. It was devastating, but so beautifully written. I love this book so much. I will never stop praising it and recommending it. Then the last book in the non-romance section is A Family Matter by Claire Lynch. This is set in the 1970s, and it explores how lesbian or queer women who wanted to leave their husbands at the time for another woman were demonized by the law and the community. These are important perspectives to read all of the time. It's important to remember what queer elders did for the queer community, what bullshit they had to go through to get us to where we are today. I thought this was a fantastic story. It was also a debut novel, which was super impressive. Now, into the romances. First up, Shifting Gears by Jazz Forrester. Second book by Jazz Forrester on this list. This is probably my favorite sapphic romance ever. So this is big city girl moves to a small like rural town in Canada. She meets a mechanic and they fall in love. The love interest in this is like so golden retriever, which I don't know if I had read before in a sapphic romance, and I was so obsessed with her. Yeah. Oh my God. This is just like amazing. If you're going to read anything out of the romance section, read this, please. Please. I'm on my knees begging. Please. Second book in the romance section is Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail by, I was going to say Delilah Green, by Ashley Herring Blake. This is the second one in the Bright Falls trilogy. It is my favorite one out of the three books. So if you have read Delilah Green, then please read Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail. And if you haven't read Delilah Green, read Delilah Green and then read Astrid Parker. And I feel like you're going to love it, okay? In this book, our couple, they're working on like a house renovation together. And the renovation process is going to be televised because they're doing it on this like super old house. So it's kind of a big deal. This is my favorite for a reason. This one is, wow. Yeah, Ashley Herring Blake slayed with this one. Next book is The Anatomy of Forever by T.B. Markinson and Miranda McLeod. This might only be available on Audible. That's where I listened to it. I don't know if you can buy a physical book. I've never seen it physically, but I liked the audiobook on Audible. This is a doctor romance. And it also has age gap. And it also is best friend's stepmom. To be honest, I didn't even feel like it was best friend's stepmom because I didn't really feel like the best friend was a best friend. It honestly felt more like they were just friends or even acquaintances. In this, they hook up right in the beginning. The younger main character is at her best friend's house the day after, and the stepmom shows up and they're like, Hi. But I liked this because I thought the smut in this was pretty good. And there was kind of like workplace drama in this, which I really enjoyed. I thought it was fun. Book number 4 is Every Step She Takes by Alison Cochrun. Our two characters meet on an airplane and then they end up on the same like week-long hike in Spain. They're hiking along the coast in Spain. They hike for like 8 to 10 hours a day or something crazy, and then they stay in hostels along the way. That was so much fun. I had never read a romance book with like a hiking excursion aspect to it before, so I really liked that. And you know, they're sharing hotel rooms. The FMC, her feet are hurting because she didn't really know how to pack for this hiking trip. And then the love interest like gives her equipment because she's like a seasoned hiker. She's like, here, you can wear my shoes. She was taking care of her. Loved it. I liked that they were on this big trip, traveling through Spain, and that's how they were getting to know each other too. I really liked that aspect. I thought it was different and I thought it was super fun. Then the last book in the romance group is A Game of Hearts and Heists by Ruby Rowe. I'm not going to lie, guys. I barely remember the plot of this one. But if you want to read something for smut, read this one. Read this one. The two FMCs hate each other and they have to go on this journey like across the kingdom to try and do something about magic. I don't know. Anyways, they hate each other, but they are also sleeping with each other all the time. I like the smut, guys. If you want to read a sapphic book for smut, I think this one's your girl. I do have one more honorable mention. This one is not strictly sapphic. It is a queer book, though. There is at least one sapphic relationship in it, but I would just say it's more broadly just a queer book. And that is This Princess Kills Monsters by Herman. This is a retelling of The 12 Huntsmen, which is a Brothers Grimm fairy tale that I actually didn't know. But essentially, this princess gets sent to another kingdom. She's going to marry a king that she's never met to try and like bring peace between these two different kingdoms. She gets to the kingdom. She has to kill monsters, solve some mysteries, battle a misogynistic lion, and she's doing this all while fighting feelings for one of the king's huntsmen. I love fairy tale retellings, even though I didn't know the 12 Huntsmen. There's references to other fairy tales in it, so I don't know. I just love a fairy tale retelling. I thought this was so much fun. Also, most beautiful cover ever. So pretty. So I definitely would recommend this one too. It is not strictly sapphic, but if you just want a queer fantasy read this one. Those are my 10 sapphic reading recommendations that I think that you should read during Pride Month. Pride Month is a great excuse to, you know, get some queer reads under your belt if you don't have very many. I gave some recommendations of stuff that's just a little bit more flirty and fun, and then also some recommendations of stuff that's a little more hard-hitting, talking about more difficult topics, but topics that are important to read about and learn about, especially during Pride Month. Let me know if you try any of these. I will also definitely have a reading vlog going up for Pride Month as well, where I'm reading probably sapphic books. So look out for that video too, because I have some anticipated 5 stars there as well. Hope you guys enjoyed. Happy reading. I will see you in the next one.